Hey everyone, how you doing today? My name's Eric. As always, I want to thank you for coming by and checking out my video today. Now in this episode of Smo'King, we're doing something a little different. Earlier today, I had the privilege of going on a friend's show for an interview. She does a weekly show, and the friend I'm talking about is Michelle Mazzara, and she's the CEO and owner of a company called Luvafoodie. Luvafoodie makes some outstanding and delicious seasonings and spice blends that I featured in a lot of my cooking videos. I'm going to leave a link below to her website. Do yourself a favor, go check them out, order some of her seasonings. You will not be disappointed. Anyway, in honor of Father's Day, she asked me to come on her show, and I felt it was an honor to go on her show. And you might find the video interesting, especially if you enjoy watching my videos. We kind of discuss how we first met, how I got my first smoker, how I ultimately ended up starting my YouTube channel, and some other things you might find interesting, like I said, if you enjoy watching my video. So without further ado, let's get to the interview.
Luvafoodie iced tea, 4 clean drinking iced tea flavors. Lemon lovers, passion fruit lovers, raspberry lovers, and blood orange lovers iced tea. Eat clean, be well and stay well with our clean eating spice blends at Luvafoodie.
Hi everybody, welcome to Luvafoodie LinkedIn Live. Today is Sunday, June 12th. It's a week before Father's Day. This is my first show on a Sunday, and I have a very great family man, and I thought what a better way a week before Father's Day to introduce everybody to Eric Mueller, who has been doing barbecue recipes and barbecue tips on his YouTube channel for a long time. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So before we get into it, I want to tell everybody how we met. At first, I met Eric's wife, Monica, and his daughter, Ava Grace, and Kyle, his son, in a grand opening Hy-Vee store in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, about a year ago. Actually, I think a year in September.
Mm-hmm.
And they came up to me. I was doing a demo, and they're like, "You should meet my dad. My dad's a great barbecue guy, and he's been doing barbecue YouTube videos for a long time." And then I believe a couple days later, you came into the store.
Yes.
I think I met you. And so I said, okay. And I looked at your website and I looked at your YouTube channel, and I thought, wow, you've got a huge following, and this could be interesting. I might send you some spices and see what you can do. And that's kind of the history of how we met. And you are very, very creative in what you do. And so I want to find out, when did you start your interest in barbecue and smoking?
Oh, well, basically it all started pretty much by accident. I've always loved cooking, mainly because I love to eat. So, and I think I have a little bit of that from my grandparents. My mom's side of the family is from Denmark. My dad's side of the family is from Germany, and they like to eat. And so I was always into that. I wasn't really into cooking or barbecuing per se. And then what happened, it's probably now 7-8 years ago, me and my wife went to Sam's Club, and we were doing our shopping, and we came in, and my wife saw someone that she knew. I don't know who it was. It was so long ago. So she stopped and started chit-chatting with that person. And my wife's, very friendly, and, oh, hi. And they start chit-chatting. So I was just kind of a few feet ahead of her. And it was around this time of year. We were coming into summer, and they had all the patio furniture out when you walked into Sam's Club, and they had all these grills and smokers and things. So I was just kind of hanging out, waiting for her to finish up talking to this person, and I was looking at some of the smokers and stuff. And then she came over and she said, "Oh, you like that smoker?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, I never knew, is that something you'd like to do?" And I said, "Oh yeah, that would be kind of cool. I never had a smoker." So it was like, that was pretty much it. And then we went on and did our shopping. My birthday was the following week. So my wife went back to Sam's Club and bought the smoker that I was looking at, because at that point, she didn't have a gift for me. So,
That's nice.
fast forward the next week, and I open up a wrapped package, and it's a smoker, and I go, oh, thanks. I put the smoker together, and and I'm like, this is kind of fun. And then I asked her, I said, well, what do you want me to smoke? And she goes, oh, I love smoked salmon. Oh, that's my favorite thing, smoked salmon. I go, okay, but I don't know how to smoke salmon. So what do? I go to YouTube and I look for smoked salmon. And back then, this is probably 5 years ago, there wasn't too many videos on smoked salmon. There was a couple, but they were very old, low resolution. They were kind of grainy. So I was kind of frustrated. I'm like, well, how am I going to make smoked salmon? So I looked at a couple written recipes, and I looked at those couple grainy YouTube videos, and I kind of pieced together my own recipe. Went to the store, bought all the stuff the following weekend when it was my day off, and I had all the stuff laying on my kitchen counter. And almost as an afterthought, I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I bet you I'm not the only guy right now who's trying to smoke salmon for the first time, or maybe just got a smoker like me and is frustrated like I was trying to figure out how to do this. I picked up my cell phone. I had a little tripod. I stuck it on the kitchen counter, and I turned it on, and I said, hi, my name's Eric, and I'm going to make some smoked salmon. And so I did my first video, and it was like a 15, 20-minute video. And at the end, I had my wife come and sample it, and it came out surprisingly better than either one of us expected. It was so good. And so we were just like shoveling it in our mouths and going, wow, this is good. And da, 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 da. And so I uploaded it to my YouTube channel, and lo and behold, I started getting views, and a couple hundred, couple thousand. I started getting comments. People really liked my video. Thanks for the video. And it was just kind of a goof. I had no intention of starting a YouTube smoking channel or a cooking channel. I just did it kind of last minute, and I'm glad I did now looking back at it. And then that's still one of my most watched videos. It's my original smoking salmon video. And then the next week I said, okay, well, now what do you want me to make? And she said, oh, you should try to make your own bacon. And again, I don't know how to make bacon. I have no experience. So I watched some videos, and I kind of did the same process. And yeah, it kind of grew into something that I maybe would put a video out once a month to now I'm kind of a little bit more structured, where I release a video every Saturday morning. And I try to have a video once a week, because I know with YouTube and how the algorithms work, you have to be consistent, and YouTube promotes those creators that put out consistent content. It doesn't have to be every day. I'm doing it once a week. Some people might do it once every couple of weeks or once a month, what have you. So that's the schedule. Luckily, I'm always like 5 or 6 videos ahead. So if I want to skip a weekend or we got, other plans, I can do that without being stressed out. But so now it's just turned into a fun little hobby. And the fun part is I get a lot of friends and people who watch my videos who reach out, which is great. And then, of course, the bonus is I get a little bit of revenue from YouTube for people watching my videos. So that's kind of kept me motivated to keep going forward.
So, Eric, when you first created your YouTube channel, was it called just Eric Mueller, or was it called Eric?
Yeah, when I first started, it was just I had a YouTube video or YouTube account, and I think my very first 2 videos, I think they're still up there, were actually gaming videos. I was playing computer games with some people, and I was recording the footage, and I uploaded a couple videos. And my YouTube channel, I think I uploaded 2 or 3 videos, and it kind of lay dormant for like 3 or 4 years. I didn't really, do anything with it until I started the cooking videos. And so it just had my name, Eric Mueller. And then one of my friends I gamed with, who actually owns an advertising company in South Africa, said he does logos and stuff for businesses. And he said, hey, I'd love to make a logo for your YouTube channel. I love your things. And I said, okay. So he said, do you have anything in mind? And I go, well, I just do smoking and barbecue videos. He goes, okay. So then the next day he sent me the logo, which I use now, that has kind of the pig and it says smoking barbecue tips and recipe. He came up with that. Oh. And he said, here you go. And he sent me a whole bunch of files and wallpaper and stuff with that file. And he said, yeah, here, feel free to use this. And I'm like, oh, thank you very much. So at that point, I changed my channel over to smoking barbecue tips and recipes. And so now I've kind of changed it from just a regular YouTube video that I didn't really take too serious to now more of a serious thing.
Yes, yes. And then when did you create the website?
The website probably came a couple years later when I thought, okay, you know what? I really need to have a central location. It's very hard to send people to YouTube. Meaning, like, if I meet someone on the street and I go, hey, you should check out my YouTube channel. Oh, well, what's your channel name? And sometimes when you search, barbecue tips or barbecue recipes, you're going to get hundreds of different results, and it's really hard for someone to fine tune you. So the main reason I did the website was because then I had business cards made with my website on it. And I said, go to my website. And then if you go to my website, I have links on the top to my YouTube channel, my Instagram page, and my Facebook page. And that way people can find me a little bit easier. And then I thought it would be nice to have a website where I kind of put all my video recipes and photos together in one place where people can go and see all my videos and stuff. And more than just a video link, I also put all the written instructions for the recipe, as well as photos along the way of how it should look and stuff like that. So that just kind of came after the fact to kind of work in conjunction with my YouTube video.
Sure. And like you said, it's more complete and directional for the people that need to read actual.
Exactly.
Yeah. And a lot of people, when they do, especially if they're not comfortable cooking, they need that step-by-step list.
Yeah, and that's what I try to tell people, and I try to encourage people too, is because, like, look, I have no professional training. I'm not a professional cook. I did work for a few summers when I was in high school in a restaurant, so I had a little bit of experience, but nothing, no professional stuff. And it's like, if I can do it, you can do it. It's not that hard. It shouldn't be that complicated. I try not to go overboard with super complicated recipes. Every once in a while, I'll do something a little bit outside my comfort zone. But for the most part, I try to keep with real basic stuff, basic ingredients. I don't want to make, some kind of barbecue sauce with, 26 different ingredients. I'm like,
right.
That people aren't going to have the patience to go find all that and put it together. They'll just buy a bottle off the shelf. So I try to keep it a little simple with like basic stuff and spices and that people have to kind of put together stuff that tastes good, easy to do. And, it's not just smoking and barbecue. That's how I kind of came into it. But of course, now living in Wisconsin, in the wintertime, when it's 20 below zero and there's a snowstorm, I really can't go outside and smoke. So I'm forced to do other kinds of videos inside, whether it's a slow cooker or stuff I cook in the oven or casseroles. And then I also do a little bit of sous vide cooking where I mix that with the smoking and barbecue, kind of blending a couple different cooking techniques together, which seems to be becoming popular now too. So yeah, it's just some kind of cooking videos, but then as well, people like to watch my videos, not only for my cooking videos, but because I incorporate my family into my videos. I always have a drink review while we're waiting for the food to cook. So I'll drink a beer and review a beer, and then my son will review some kind of root beer or craft soda. And then my daughter also comes in with some fruit juice or a smoothie. And then, of course, at the end, we're usually all sampling it and trying it. And so people like to tune in also because they've come to learn about my family and they like the interactions that I have. So I don't just do exclusive cooking videos. Every once in a while, I'll do a video where, like, okay, we're going to go, like we had a Christmas parade in the town we live in here last year. So I did a whole video where we went and we were in a horse-drawn carriage through town and we went to see the Christmas light display. And so I'll occasionally put a video that has nothing to do with cooking whatsoever, but it's more like a behind the scenes of my family and I just kind of having fun. And a lot of people seem to like that stuff as well.
Right, right. And the other thing I noticed that you've done recently is you've gone to some restaurants and did a restaurant review or a bar review. Is that something that you're looking to incorporate more of?
Well, yeah, probably. Like next, at the end of this month, my family and I are going to be going down to Chicago. That's where I grew up in the suburbs to visit my dad. I haven't seen my dad in several years. And now that I'm living closer, because I just recently moved from California to Wisconsin, now that we're a little closer, this is the first opportunity. I'm going to drive down there and spend a couple days. And so I'm like, yep, let's grab the camera. Let's put something together, and I'll put together a little video. And, you know, and sometimes they do well, sometimes they don't. But the other thing that kind of motivated me to add these kind of videos to my collection is because it's like a video library of what's going on right now in my life and my family. And I kind of, you know, I hope that my son and my daughter might watch these videos decades from now when I'm long gone and Monica's long gone, maybe with their kids or their grandkids, and kind of have this video history of their life when they were growing up. I mean, I just think back, I would have loved to seen stuff like this. Like if my dad or mom, if the technology was around back then where they were doing this kind of stuff, I thought, boy, would that be kind of fun and interesting to have that video record of stuff, you know, because that's going to last forever. So that kind of motivated me too, besides just my love of cooking, is to have a kind of a little something to watch. And my mom was in a lot of our videos too. She'd come spend a weekend with us, and she'd be involved in the videos now. And she just passed away last January. So I found myself going back and watching some of those videos and see her interacting with my kids. And it's just nice to have that, because you can go back and look at that and see that. So that's a little bit of my motivation too, to kind of incorporate my family, because I want it to be like our life and what we're doing, surrounding around our love for cooking and eating. And, you know, I always associate family when you get together, you know, being at a table and enjoying a meal. That's kind of, you know, that's part of your family and who you are and the different kinds of foods you grew up with and love and that kind of stuff.
Well, you know, it'd be fun when you go to Chicago, and I don't know if your kids have been there, but go eat some deep dish. Go to Illuminati's, Gino, and you could do like a taste test. Have your kids had Chicago style?
No, I mean, we went to a couple. There was a place in California called BJ's Pizza, Chicago Pizzeria, and it was pretty good pizza, but I mean, it's not authentic Chicago deep dish by any means. So
yes,
my son's looking forward to that. Yeah. And when I took my wife many years ago, before we had kids, to meet my dad in Chicago, we went to Lou Malnati's, and she fell in love with it right away. And that's the only one she's been to. And I'm like, well, there's so many other different pizza places. And there's a lot of really good thin crust pizza places too in Chicago. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward of doing that. And I'll probably I don't know if maybe I'll get a couple videos out of the trip. Maybe I'll just do one on a Lou Malnati's review, or maybe I'll incorporate it in a bigger video of just our trip to Chicago. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see how much footage I get.
Right. Well, that'll be fun. So is the smoker that you use now in your videos, is that the original one that Monica bought you?
Well, the video I did this last week, the smoke hollow one with the glass door, that was the original one that she bought me for my birthday that started my whole YouTube career. So since then, I bought another one called the Pit Barrel Smoker, which is basically a barrel that you cook in and barbecue in. I also have a kettle grill. And then around a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years now, I also got a Blackstone griddle to cook on that. So I'm always looking to add new grills, new smokers, you know, stuff like that. So I'm kind of anxious to get some more equipment, but I'm kind of waiting because we're in the process, hopefully soon, of buying a house and moving. So I'm like, I don't want to necessarily buy stuff just to have to transport it to a new location. And part of the fun too, I'll admit, of getting my channel to grow and getting more subscribers and getting more views is I'm starting to have companies reach out to me and say, hey, we'll send you something if you don't mind doing an honest review of it, you know? So, you know, I'm hoping to get some connections with maybe some companies that make smokers or grills where I can help represent their product and do videos, not necessarily for them, but videos of me using their stuff that will ultimately help them sell more grills and smokers. If they see me doing it, that might motivate people to say, well, hey, if I had that same equipment, I could do the same recipes.
Yeah, I was just going to say to you, I mean, like, I'm connected this show. I'm the people at Weber, a lot of big companies. I've got 20,000 LinkedIn connections. And so a lot of them might decide that they want to watch you and send you some product to try or send you a new grill or a new smoker. I think
Yeah.
that's a good idea. So are you leaving Chippewa Falls or you're just moving to are you staying
Yeah,
in?
somewhere around here. Yeah, we're looking here, but the market's kind of crazy right now, so we're
Yeah.
kind of standby mode. We're still kind of looking. Monica's much more what's the word? She's much more motivated, and I'm trying to calm her down. She just wants to move for the sense of moving. And I mean, we planned that when we came out here that eventually we'd get our own house. But when we first came
Okay.
out here, we weren't established. I didn't have a lined up employment. So I said, well, let's just get out here. It was a huge move. I did some videos that I have on my channel as well, where we document the whole move and that whole thing. And so, yeah, we had to sign a year lease when we first came here to rent the place just to get established. Okay. And now the year lease expired at the beginning of this year. So we ended up going month to month. In anticipation of moving, and I was pre-approved for the loan, and then the market's been going crazy and the interest rates are going up, and we were finding places coming up for sale that she'd call me at 2:00 in the afternoon. Hey, did you see this place? And I'd look on my phone. Yeah, let's go see it tomorrow. And then by the time we call the realtor that we're working with, the place has already got an offer. I mean, it was like crazy. It was like, okay, well, it was just too much. So we're like, well, let's just wait. And it seems like things are cooling down a little bit, because now we actually, instead of seeing prices go up, we're starting to see them level off, and we're starting to see some actual price reductions, because when the rate went up a 0.5 percentage point, people realize they can't ask as much for their places, because they're going to price themselves out of the market with a lot of customers. So we're just kind of trying to find that right place. And like I told her, we'll know it's right when we see it. So hopefully soon.
Right. Now, Eric, your real job, or I know this is a hobby, the barbecue and smoking business or sidekick. You work for Harley Davidson, is that correct?
Right now I do, yes.
And what do you do for them?
I do sales and finance.
Okay. And are they in Wisconsin?
Yeah, it's right here. It's Chippewa Falls, Harley Davidson, in the town I live in. I started my career in Harley Davidson back in California. I worked for Los Angeles Harley Davidson, I think, for a total of 16, 17 years. Started back in 96 when I was pretty young, and ended up working at a couple different motorcycle dealerships. The biggest one was LA Harley, but I ended up working maybe 10, 11 years with them. I ended up leaving to go to another Harley Davidson dealership where I was a sales manager for several years. And then I did some other stuff too, kind of got out of the motorcycle business altogether. And then I went back again to LA Harley, kind of by accident, because I went to go visit my old manager just to have lunch, and I hadn't seen him, and we still stayed friends even after I left. And they ended up calling me back saying, hey, you want a job? And I'm like, oh, okay. So, and then that dealership got sold. And then I went to work for Indian Motorcycle in California for a while too. So I've always been in the motorcycle industry, most of my career. So when I came out here, that was just a natural fit to try to see if I could get a job working for Harley. So.
Right. So do you have several Harleys?
No, right now I don't have one. I'm going. Once we get a house, I'm going to work on. That's my next priority. Besides getting some new grills and smokers, to get a bike. And I probably get asked that all the time, because I'm one of the few employees at the dealership I work at that does not have a bike. So they give me a little bit of a hard time. But I try to tell them, hey, my main priority is to get into a house first. So. I had owned a Harley for many years, but I sold it several years ago. I actually sold it when I found out Monica was pregnant with Kyle, my first born, and I just got a little stressed. We were just newly married. I was like, oh, what am I going to do? And I just thought, you know what? Let me sell the bike. There'll always be time for that. I wanted to make sure I was around for my kids. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just take a step away from riding bikes for a while. But now that they're older, and I have to say it's always been something that I enjoy. That's kind of, I think it's in my blood. So it's hard sometimes to sit and not have a bike, especially when I see all these people, and I share in that excitement on a daily basis with customers that I deal with getting bikes for the first time. And I kind of relive that experience through them almost daily.
Right, right. So with Father's Day being a week away, what happens at your house? Do you have a Father's Day tradition? Do you cook? I mean, I know it's a big day where families get together and they barbecue and they grill. I mean, so what
Yeah,
happens?
I mean, probably. I haven't really even thought of it. To me, it's not a huge. I mean, we might go out for dinner. I might cook something here. There's not a set tradition that we do each year. It's just mainly getting together with the family and having fun as a family. So yeah, I'm not really sure. Sometimes it's nice just to go out to eat too, because then I don't have to work.
Exactly,
So,
exactly. And
yeah,
so,
we haven't decided yet, but who knows? Maybe I'll cook something too, because that's quick and easy as well.
right. Does Monica do any cooking, or do you do all the cooking?
No, she does a lot of cooking. She does a lot of
Okay.
cooking. She helps with a lot of the recipes in my videos behind the scenes. And there's a lot of videos too. If you are a regular viewer, you'll see she participates a lot of time too, especially if I'm outside my comfort zone and I'm now in the kitchen cooking a stew or a soup. I'm more comfortable outside with the smokers and barbecuers and doing that kind.
Yep. I think we just lost Eric for a minute, but hopefully his audio will come back. Eric, can you hear me? I know we can see Eric, but for some reason his video has halted. We'll give him a minute and hopefully he'll get back in and we will finish the show. In the meantime, I want to talk to everybody until Eric joins us again. His video probably just stopped for some reason. Luvafoodie Father's Day special that I'm running. So anyone who orders any 4-pack of Luvafoodie spices, any flavor of 4, or you can order 2 flavors of 2-pack. So basically 4 tins total. Okay, so we have it as a 4-pack. Eric's probably going to come back on. He probably had to sign in and sign out. Anyway, the special is order 4 Luvafoodie spice tins, Amazon, Walmart.com, or Luvafoodie.com, and I am going to throw in a free bag of instant cold brew iced tea. It will be a surprise to see which one you will get, but this special is going to run between June 12th, which is today, and June, let's say, how about June 19th? So we'll run it for 5 days. And there's that 7 days. We'll run it to June 19th. And it's as you can see, the iced teas are behind me. June is National Iced Tea Day, or June is National Iced Tea Month. June 10th, which was Friday, was National Iced Tea Day. So we have 2 green tea iced teas. We've got blood orange, which is all natural. Here comes Eric. I add Eric back in. Hey, Eric, I'm just finishing up my Father's Day special.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. My internet seemed to go out for a half a second there.
Yeah, that's okay. I knew you'd jump back on. So once again, everybody, you order the Father's Day special is going to start today, June 12th through June 19th. If anyone orders 4 Luvafoodie spices, they can be a set of 2 different flavors or a set of 4 packs. You're going to get a free Luvafoodie iced tea. And Eric, I did send you, I don't know if your family drinks iced tea, but I did send you in the last mailing some raspberry.
Yes, I have not tried it yet, but we're definitely. Monica actually wants to get one of those.
Sun jars?
We had one back in California, but I don't know. It's probably still in the box somewhere in the garage, but one of those that you can make the iced tea that you put out in the sun and you let it brew. And then she also had one that where you actually just was like a auto drip coffee maker, but one that you'd put tea bags in that you could use, put on your kitchen counter and actually brew tea. So
yes. Yes, we'll try it. And the reason I sent you the raspberry is it's kids love it and it's caffeine free. So we've got the
Hmm.
raspberry and the blood orange that are caffeine free. So a lot of parents who don't want to give their kids pop or things with caffeine give them the iced tea that's caffeine free, which is green
Yeah, that'd
tea.
be great. Thank you.
Yeah. So try it and let me know what you think. But so okay, we're just kind of finishing up now. So you've got Father's Day, you're not quite sure. The other question I want to ask you is, have you ever thought about doing, and I know you have a full-time job and you have a family, but entering any of the smokehouse or the smokers barbecue contests that happen every year?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I've never done any kind of serious competition, and that's always a little intimidating because I do have a lot of friends that I've made over the years who also have their own YouTube videos that are much more um, professional than me. Uh, Part of my appeal, I guess, with my YouTube channel is that I'm just an ordinary guy, that I'm not a professional cook. I'm not a professional full-time barbecue guy. So I think I'm just trying to show people with the basic knowledge and the basic stuff how you can still make delicious tasting food to share with your friends and family. But yeah, not that I wouldn't mind, but it's a little intimidating because I've seen some of these people and it's a lot of work. It's serious. And people always say too, oh, you should, open up your own restaurant or stuff. And I used to work in a restaurant, and that's not an easy gig. People say, oh, I want to be a celebrity chef or whatever. And they watch these TV shows. And I'm like, you don't even know what you're what you're getting yourself into. Friday, Saturday night, stuck in a hot kitchen. I mean, it's very intense. It's very fast paced. There's a lot more involved behind the scenes. It's not all glamorous, and there's a lot
Hard
of
work.
food prep and hard work, and yeah, it's a big thing. So, I always thought it would be nice maybe one day if I had like a bar or something where like maybe it's like, oh, this weekly special is pulled pork sandwiches because I made a bunch of pulled pork, or this week's barbecue, where I wouldn't necessarily have a full menu, but maybe I only had one or two things that I cooked that I could say,
Right.
hey, take it or leave it. That's what I got.
Right, right. Well, Eric, I've appreciated your time today. Your family's very delightful. Your kids are cute as can be. Monica's great, and you're a great family man. And I encourage everybody who's watching to follow Eric. Eric, give a shout out to what your YouTube channel is. What's it called again?
Yeah. Well, if you go to my website, it's probably the easiest way to find your way to my Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube page. And it's ericsmokingbbq.com, and it's Eric with a K. So ericsmokingbbq.com will take you there. Or if you just search my name on YouTube, it should hopefully pull up, just Eric Mueller, Mueller. Hopefully it'll pull up as well. Or if you go on Facebook, I got a Facebook page too called Eric Smoking Barbecue, as well as an Instagram page. But if you find one or the other, you'll be able to find the other ones because I kind of label them all on all those different sites. So, and then like I said, every Saturday morning I have a new video coming out, and I would love to have people come watch them, support my channel. And then I love the feedback I get from my viewers and friends who say, hey, I love this video, or sometimes even give me suggestions on what I should cook next, which, because it gets a little difficult when you're doing a video every week. You get to some points where you're like, oh geez, I'm running out of ideas. So it's always nice to have people give you some fresh thoughts on what you can do and cook. Because yeah, sometimes you got like 20 things in your mind. You go, I got to do all these great things, and I have to write them down because sometimes I forget.
Right, right. Well, I enjoy following you. I know my friends do, my family does, and I wish you a very happy Father's Day, whatever you and your kids and Monica decide to do. And I wish everybody out there a happy Father's Day, and order your Luvafoodie spices soon if you want to get them in time for Father's Day.
Yeah,
And
and thank you so much for all your spices too, because every one I've used, we've all loved them a lot. They've been great, especially that garlic lovers. I'm going to be doing a video here. I'm probably going to be doing the video tomorrow. We're going to be doing some shrimp skewers, and I'm going to be using that garlic lovers seasoning. So
that's
watch
our
out for
number
that
one.
video coming soon.
Oh, good, good. That's our number one seller, and I know that's what Monica tasted in the kids the first time they met me. Well, we are going to end with a little Luvafoodie jingle, and thank you everyone for following us. Tune in every Monday. Now that it's summertime, I'm doing the shows a little bit earlier, 1:30, 1 o'clock Central Time. We have lots of fun guests like Eric, and tomorrow I will have recipe author, award-winning Latin cuisine chef on, so that should be fun. And happy Sunday, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.